Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time stopping by, please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. So for this particular look, I'm going to be showing you guys how I did this beautiful makeup on my beautiful model. Stay tuned and I'm pretty sure you're going to be learning a thing or two. So first off, I'm going to start by grooming my model's eyebrow. You want to make sure the brows are properly groomed so it's easier for you to draw on when you want to draw. Okay, so I used my spoolie and razor blade. Just the good thing about grooming your brows is that you just imagine you drawing the brows, drawing your model or your client's brows, and then just groom it that way to follow that pattern. So when you're drawing, it's easy for you. Okay, so you remove the excess from under, then you spool downwards and then remove the excess, and then spool it up and remove the excess too. That is just that for grooming your brows. It's pretty easy. Okay. Now I'm done with the brows. I'm going to start by cleaning my model's face. Please have in mind that for this particular look, I'll be doing eyebrows first. So I'm just going to clean the whole face and then mattify the brows. This is me prepping my brows to draw it. Okay, so I'll start by using a mattifying primer after cleaning the whole face. Mattifying primer, then I'll use my setting powder. I'm using my setting powder now. I'll use my setting powder, then I'll use my brow tamer. The brow tamer I'm using is from Bromatic. This is the brow tamer I'm using from Bromatic. Then the setting powder I used was from, I think, Gentle Dove. That's setting powder I used. So now I'm going to apply the brow tamer and spool it towards the end of the brows. I'm going to make sure it's slant. Then the front part, I'm going to spool it up. Okay, when I'm done with that, I'm going to powder the brows again. This is to take away all forms of should I say oil or whatever wax that is in the brow gel. Sorry, brow tamer rather. This is to like mattify the look again. So for my brow gel, I'm using Hegai and Esther brow gel. I'm using the shade Newborn, and this brush is from Younger Beauty. Okay, so I'm just going to try to outline this, create a straight outline for the under and then the top of the brows. Okay, so just enjoy the brow process. I'll be back soon. So after outlining the brows, I'm going to fill in the brows now. I'm starting from the end of the brows. I'm using the same brow gel I used. Hegai and Esther in Newborn. I'm going to fill in from the end of the brows, and then use my spoolie brush to spool the hairs in front, just to make it look natural. Then I'll use my pencil to create natural strokes at the beginning of the brows, because you want your brows to look natural. Okay, so this is what I do to get my natural looking eyebrows. So I'll use my pencil to create natural strokes in front. Now for concealer, I'm using the Kevyn concealer. I think this is in shade 08. Yeah, using it to outline my brows, to highlight my brows rather. and this brush is from Seeing This Creation. Now after the concealing I'm doing, I'm just going to conceal the end part of the brows and then blend it in. Okay, just walk it towards the front, but I'm not really going towards the front part. I think I'll use a darker shade for that front part, so I'm only using the light shade for the end part of the brows and towards the middle of the brows. Now I'm going to go in with a darker shade of concealer for the front part, yes, and then I'm going to blend it in. So right now I'm blending in my concealer. I'm using this brush from MK Beauty, so I'll just take my time to blend in properly. Actually, I'm not really a fan of eyebrows before skin work or makeup, other than full makeup, but I decided to give it a trial. So I'm done with the brows. Now I'm going into my skin work. So for my first skin prep, I'm using the COS RS Snail Muslin. I'm going to be applying this on every part of her face, excluding her eyebrow areas. So I actually made like a silly mistake while I was doing this. I mistakenly touched the brows because I'm not used to doing eyebrows first, but I had to correct it. It was really dark skin though, but we thank God. Now for moisturizer, I'm using this moisturizer. I like it because it's very hydrating and it's very good. So I'm just going to work it into the skin with my hands and make sure that it is evenly distributed, guys. So this is my model. She's more like a friend, so you can see her talking a lot, we gist a lot whenever she comes to her sections. Now I'm using another moisturizer. This moisturizer is from Miss Methics, I think, so if I got it correct, Miss Methics. So this is another moisturizer that I like a lot. It has SPF and it's actually very good too. So I'm just going to work it into the skin. Because I intend to get a soft matte finish, so I'm trying so hard to make my skin prep, should I say, hydrating. Yeah, quite hydrating, because we know that most powders are mattifying. So even if you do you use a dewy foundation, the powders tend to mattify it up or matte it up later on. So to just avoid that scenario, it's better you just do like a good hydrating skin prep, top it up with a dewy foundation or a soft matte foundation before you use your powder. So at the end of the day, you end up getting a soft matte finish. Okay. So for foundation, I used Art Cosmetics or Art Makeup foundation. I mixed it with my NYX foundation. Okay. Now for cream blush, I'll be using the Tehila cream blush palette. This palette has really suffered in my hands. Like, I don't joke with this palette. I use it for all my looks. For every look on my page, this palette was involved. So for concealer, I used my Kevyn concealer, the one I used to highlight the brows. I used it under the eyes, the jaw, forehead, and the bridge of the nose. Yeah. So this brush, most of the brushes I'll be using for this tutorial, they're from MK Beauty, like I said earlier. Okay. The reason why we do apply just by the side of the eyes is to give the face a lifting, to make the face appear lifted. So this is like a very good technique. It helps your face appear slimmer. So I'm done blending. I used my beauty blender from Seeing This Creation. This is my best blender so far. Like, I don't know, there might be other ones, but for me this really works for me, so I don't joke with it. Now after that, I'm going to I'm going to contour the nose. I used my cream concealer from Hair Gold Cosmetics. So and this brush is from Real Techniques. So I'm just using it to get like a structure around the nose to make sure it appears slimmer. So the good thing about this brush is that as you're applying it, you're blending it as well. Now to set under my eyes, I'm using the Art Makeup palette. I'm using the light shade on the palette to set her under eyes and all the places I highlighted. Now to avoid creasing, you want to make sure that you blend in the under eyes first before applying your powder. So I'm using this brush from MK. The brush is also from MK to set the under eyes. Just pat it in. That is if you don't want to like do a very cakey makeup. Okay, so this brush just helps you take less product and spreads it better. Okay, so I'm done with the under eyes. I'm setting the jaw and the forehead using the same brush I used. So to set the full face, I'll be using the same powder palette, the same Art Makeup powder palette. So I'm just going to get into her shade and tap it on her face to set the whole face. That is the place I did not highlight and the contoured area, because you don't want to apply powder to the place you've highlighted yet, so you don't end up making your makeup look too cakey. Okay, so if you want to achieve like a skin finish kind of look, you try to avoid using too much powders and applying too much powders. Okay, so I'm done setting the whole face with her shade of powder. I'm going to use my setting powder under her brows to set the highlighted areas. Now for my highlighting, I'm using my setting powder from Gentle Dove to set her under eyes. Remember I used what's it called, the powder palette, the Art Makeup powder palette, to set the under eyes first. Now I'm baking, so I'm just using this setting powder to bake the under eyes. So I'm applying this on every part that I highlighted. So under her eyes, her forehead, bridge of her nose and her jaw. Then I'm going to go into the eyeshadow. Okay, before doing the eyeshadow, we are going to do what is known as reverse contour, and this is just you taking certain powder and applying it directly beneath your contoured area. Okay, so that is just it. Use the same setting powder or a darker setting powder that is closer to your client's shade to contour, to just cut out the contour under the place you contoured. So that is reverse contour. And now I'm using my Morphe contour powder, I think in shade bronze show also, I've forgotten, but this is to contour the nose. This is one of the best contour pressed powders I've used. There could be better ones, but this one actually does the job for me and I'm quite okay with it. So for my eyeshadow, I'm using the same contour powder to as my base, because I don't want to use eyeshadow primer or eyeshadow base. So I'm using it as my base on my crease, just to create the transition as a transition color. So next I'm going in with my eyeshadow from Art Makeup. I'm using the dark brown shade and this brush from MK Beauty. So I'm just going to like apply it on the lid and then blend it into the transition color I already applied, which is my Morphe contour powder. So I'm going to be using this brush. This is a small crease brush from Younger Beauty. Just using it to make sure that it is well blended. Now I want to apply pigment. So normally I'm going to use my pigment glue. This pigment glue is from NYX. Apply it on the areas you want to apply your glue, your pigment or your glitters, and then you go in with your glitters, and that is it. I think if you want to do like a very nice glitter look, I don't think you really need an eyeshadow base, like an eyeshadow primer, whatever you guys call it, because if you want to do a smoky eye, it's usually better if you use just a brown eyeshadow, then glitter primer, and your glitters comes out okay, instead of making the eyes too busy. So I'm just applying a translucent setting powder to the place I highlighted, to just make sure the highlights are actually visible enough. Okay, so the good thing about translucent setting powders, okay, this is RCMA setting powder though. The good thing about RCMA is that if you brush it off, it goes out completely and it doesn't leave colors behind, so you are safe to use it. Now I'm using my blush on the cheeks just to bring some warmth back to the cheeks. Okay, so the blush I used is from Adventure Makeup. That is my favorite blush at the moment. So I'm using this brush too is from MK Beauty as well. Now for my lashes, I'm using this lashes from Chi Lashes. It is one of my favorite lashes from her collections. It's very easy to use and you can reuse it up to 10 times. Yeah, I said it. Now I prefer to use a spoolie to place my lashes before using my hands, but whatever works for you though, whatever works for you. So if I use my spoolie to place it, it's easy for me to just use my hands to press it on. Okay, so but some people say they prefer using their hands to place and to press it. So whatever works for both, guys, they're all okay. So I'm done with the lashes. I'm going to do my lips. So my lips, I'll be using the Art Makeup lip palette. So before I did the lips, I obviously did the under eyes. I used my nude eyeliner from Polar Beauty. So for my lip, I'm using this Art Makeup lip palette, and I, as a nudes and glossy girl that I am, I always start with my brown shade of nude lippies. So I'll use the brown shade to outline the lip and then go in with my nude shade and then blend it all in and then apply my gloss as a gloss girl that I am. So just enjoy the process. So what I like most about this lip palette is that it is very easy to blend and it's not really tacky. Do you get? So once you apply it, you just blend it, it just blends seamlessly. So that's what I like about it. It's easy to apply and it blends in easily. Now remember to always blend as you're applying. If not, you end up having an uneven lip look, which I don't think anybody would want. Okay, so after blending, I applied my gloss and I move on to setting my whole face again. Okay, because the first one you did, you use her shade to set in the foundation and contour and what have you. Then this last one is to just make sure that the face is in unison. That's like blend everything in. So I need to like blend everything in. Okay, so So for the blending in of the whole face, I think I used my Fenty powder. I've forgotten the shade, but I think I used Fenty and Bobbi Brown. Was it Bobbi Brown or Forever? Either of those two. I think, okay, Fenty and Forever makeup. Those are the two powders I used to blend in the whole face. Okay, so and this brush is from Vicabel. Okay, no. Is it Vicabel? Okay, no, sorry, from Younger Beauty rather. This brush is from Younger Beauty. So right now you're going to like set everything in, both the contour, the blush, the highlights, everything. Just going to like set everything in with this powder. That is why it is this particular procedure is known as blending in, because you're going to be blending in everything. Like, so for areas where the big brush cannot go in, you just need to use a smaller powder brush to brush everything out. Okay, some people prefer to use powder while brushing out the under eyes, but for me, because I don't want my under eyes to be too bright, I prefer to use an empty brush to just brush out the excesses, then go in with the light shade of powder for highlighting. So like I said earlier, some people prefer to use powder to blend, but me, when I'm brushing off powder, I prefer to just use an empty brush, and then when I'm done brushing off, I can go in with a light shade of powder to highlight the under eye and the areas I highlighted. Now I'm going in with the same blush I used the first time. This blush is from Adventure, like I said earlier. This is my favorite blush at the moment. It is very pigmented, it blends very easily, and it doesn't oil out or goes out like other blush that I know. So I just apply it again to bring back the warmth to the face. And I'm using this. I used the Cosmetics Dewy Wet Balm, in Coral, in the shade Coral, on the cheeks to highlight and for my cream blush. Now I had to apply the highlighting shade on my nose and the bridge of my nose and the forehead. So these are the areas where light falls on, because those are the areas you want to add highlight to, because when light falls on the face, it picks those high points. So those are the areas you apply your highlighter on. So now I'm going in again with my cream blush, my Cosmetics Wet Balm. I'll put the shades in the description box below. Now I'm going to go in with my highlighter I used the Younger Beauty highlighter in I've forgotten the shade too, so I'll put all of them in the description box. Okay, so I'm going to apply the highlighter on the apple of the cheeks, the nose bridge, the bridge of the nose, the forehead, and the jaw, and then what's it called, beneath my brows, and just other points I know that light would hit. Okay, you don't have to apply so much highlighter, just a little at the high points. Alright, so as you can see, I'm applying it beneath my brows. These are the points where light would hit naturally. That's where I'm applying my highlighters. So for my under eyes, I went in again with my art makeup eyeshadow palette, and this shader brush is from Younger Beauty. This is just to add some shadows to the under eyes, because like I said earlier, I used the nude shade of the Polar Beauty eyeliner, and if you don't do this, the eyes might tend to look too bare and might not really give you what you want. So it's actually nice when you do this if you're using nude eyeliners. This will help add some shadows to the eyes, like some shades to the eyes, to make it appear better. So after that, I'm going to be using my mascara. This mascara is also from Polar Beauty. I think I'm a huge fan of Polar Beauty products because all their products are really quality, and they can compete in the international market and still stand their ground. So I'm actually a huge fan of Polar Beauty products. So to set my whole look, I'll be using the Adventure setting spray. This is a dewy setting spray. So like I said earlier, I wanted to get like a soft matte or dewy finish. So I had to start from the skin prep, because whatever you want to achieve with your makeup, the skin prep is the first step to achieving it. So you have to be very intentional about your skin prep to be able to achieve the finish that you desire. So guys, this is the finished look. I know you like it as much as I do, and I know you enjoyed watching this video. So please don't forget to like, share, comment, and most especially subscribe to this channel for more tutorials like this. Thank you guys for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.